Hundreds of thousands of dollars in federal funding is going towards a renovation project at Simmons College of Kentucky. Congressman Morgan McGarvey announced a $850,000 federal grant for Louisville's only historically black college. It's part of the more than $12 million to support local projects this year. This grant helps support renovations at the Simmons Westover campus on South 44th Street. The new building is a hub for science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. Today, state, metro, and education leaders talked about the importance of a continuous investment in Simmons College.
I truly believe in this program and the power of education and what we can do to make a difference for all children, but especially for children of color.
And the Westover campus is expected to open in 2028. During a press conference today, Simmons also introduced the first graduate of its Master of Science in Medical Science program.